Thank you, Roy, and thank you for the Saco Bay Democrats for putting this forum on. It's too bad my opponent can't be here. My name is Justin Chenette, and it's great to be on TATV as well for those watching at home. It's been a staple of my journalistic career for the past 8 years, so it's nice to be back on the air. I don't have to tell you twice that Maine is facing some difficult choices ahead. Forbes ranked the business climate last in the entire country. Young people are leaving the state in record numbers because they can't find a job or educational opportunities. Senior citizens are being cut from health care. There's individuals that have to make the difficult choice between heating their homes, putting food on the table, and buying the high cost of prescription drugs. This election is really important. Now, we hear that every election cycle. This is the most important election cycle. But it really is. And it's critical that the Democrats take back the House and the Senate to hip check our Tea Party activist governor that has really taken the state in the wrong direction. And so I think it's critically important to send somebody not only against the Republican in the fall, but also to the State House that has the experience necessary to create positive change. My experiences are in both local and state government. I'm the only one in the race with both of those qualities, having served on the Maine State Board of Education, being appointed by Governor John Baldacci, touring the state, representing over 200,000 students and teachers from all across the state when formulating educational policy and figuring out what works and what doesn't work in our education system. Also, here at City Hall, I've been an intern and a communications committee member working to facilitate change in that regard. Also, as a youth organizer for the Democratic Party, energizing and mobilizing and registering to vote many young people that for so long have felt shut out of the political process. Also as a communications director for Representative Linda Valentino's re-election campaign. But I think the highlight is I've been a journalist for the past 8 years in holding many of the people that you've seen up here on the stage today accountable, both as Democrats and Republicans. I've held both accountable from a journalistic standpoint, and I think it's high time that we have that journalistic accountability in a governmental sense in Augusta. I think that would serve us really well, because it's not about the D or the R, it's about doing what's right for Maine people. About my age, it gets brought up a lot. I have spiky hair, go figure. And it's one of those things where, you know, my opponent likes to talk about life experience. Well, my experiences have prepared me to take on this role. Again, I've actually served in local and state government. I've held other leaders accountable. I can clearly articulate our core democratic principles while not being afraid to reach across the aisle to get the job done. That's why a number of individuals that have joined my coalition are independents and Republicans, because they like my message that we got to get down to brass tacks and solve issues. What I can do is foster an environment where we bring together to the table educators, business leaders, average citizens, and the bureaucrats at the same table to develop and demand solutions that work. And that stems from a background in communications. That's not about politics or power plays. That's about common sense leadership. And that is what we need in Augusta. So when somebody brings up my age, they just need to look at my resume, because that will stand for itself. But I'll keep talking because the moderator's not here. There's a reason there's a D at the end of my name. I'm a Democrat for a reason, because we stand for something much larger than ourselves individually. We stand for social justice. We stand for equal pay. We stand for equality of marriage. We stand for a woman's right to choose. We stand up for the rich to pay their fair share. And this is a prime example of why I'm a Democrat. I remember when my mother raised me as a single parent and had to take the courageous step of asking for food stamps for assistance, like so many other millions of Americans have to do today, including right here in the state of Maine. That takes a lot of courage to do that. That's not easy to ask for help, especially given that Mainers have a strong independent spirit. We want to do it on our own. We don't want government to come in and tell us what to do or how to live our lives, but there are instances where we need a temporary assistance. You know, 78% of those on the Temporary Assistance for Needy Families program were off of welfare within 5 years. So this idea that conservatives like Tea Party activist Governor Paul LePage like to reiterate in cutting services, like everybody's abusing the system, there's welfare queens, is not based in reality. It's based in rhetoric. And people need to recognize the difference between fact and fiction. And so getting back to your question, Stan, about, you know, fighting for those individuals that can't help themselves, you know, we do need to take a red pen and go through different programs, different departments to find any inefficiencies or administrative redundancy that may exist. But that doesn't mean cutting thousands of seniors off of health care like the past legislative session did. Even though they had a compromise, I would not support that compromise. There's a reason why there's a D at the end of my name, and I would stand firm in those beliefs. If one senior citizen is cut from health care unnecessarily because of quote-unquote budgetary issues, that's a problem. That's absolutely horrendous. And so I wouldn't have supported that, and I would have been vocal on that particular issue. And so I think we need to continue to support social programs. I think cutting methadone, cutting, drug abuse problems, substance abuse problems, do you want people to run rampant on the streets and create an increase in crime? Because that's what's going to happen when you cut substance abuse programs. You need prevention. We need preventative care. So again, I think to solve the issue, we have to address the economic issue while remaining compassionate for people and recognizing that people are hurting. And we have to kind of bring that common sense leadership to Augusta when reaching across the aisle. I mean, it's hard to reach across the aisle, though, when the Republicans are steadfast in basically not showing that compassion and saying, well, you can just do it on your own. You can pull yourself up from your bootstraps. Well, sometimes when you have an unemployment rate in this country, 1 out of 10 people don't have a job. Sometimes you can't create opportunities for yourself. You need that assistance. The government needs to create the kind of economic growth and stability that's necessary. And that's a key issue in this race. Did you know we have an entire Department of Economic Growth and Development? What are they doing? I'm not seeing the kind of economic growth and development that we need in this state. So we need to take a look at what they're actually doing because they're not doing a good job. Are you serious? Yeah. Okay. Did I do a quick closing remarks? Oh, I'm sorry. Well, there's a lot of issues at stake. We need to do 3 things. Rethink priorities, reform policy, and renew commitment. If we do that, rethink, reform, and renew, we can create an opportunity for each and every Mainer to achieve the American dream, where we can own a home, raise a family, have a good paying job, have access to quality and affordable health care, be able to send your kids to college, and be able to retire with dignity and financial stability. It is possible, but right now it's not, and it's not for me. And I can't live here given its current trajectory, and I want to be able to. So are my fellow peers that I graduated with at Thornton Academy. They want to live here too. Let's create that opportunity. It's time that we work together, set aside partisan bickering. It is possible. I don't take no for an answer. I've been a journalist for the past 8 years. I've earned people's trust. Now it's time to bring that to Augusta. Justin for Saco.com. Thank you.
Thank you, Justin.